If you feel like the truth is being kept from us, know that you're not alone. I'm Detective Ozma, and my mission is to dig up the evidence behind the mysteries they want to bury. Today, I'm collecting evidence from one of the most documented UFO cases in history, and it didn't even happen in the United States. January, 1996. Varginha, Minas Gerais, Brazil. 3 young women claimed they came across a creature with brown skin and red eyes in an empty lot. Days earlier, locals had already reported strange lights in the sky. Soon, rumors spread about military captures, mysterious deaths, and even intimidation attempts. The case became known as the Varginha Incident, the biggest UFO mystery in Brazil. When I opened the case file, I found the same pieces repeating across all the testimonies. Evidence 1, the aerial sighting. Days earlier, pilot Carlos de Souza saw a cigar-shaped flying object releasing smoke.
Ele vinha caindo lentamente, tá como se fosse ângulo de 30 graus, descendo lentamente como se estivesse perdendo força, tá? E perdendo altitude. Só que ele planava, ia perdendo lentamente altitude e ia caminhando, como se estivesse procurando algum local para poder baixar, algum local para poder assentar, chegar ao solo.
A farming couple, Eurico and Orolina, also reported a similar UFO hovering over their property for several minutes. Evidence 2, the encounter at Jardim Andir. The 3 young women, Liliane, Valkyria, and Katia, gave a chilling description of the creature: oily skin, red eyes, a strong odor. They were so terrified, they thought they were seeing the devil himself. Shortly after, firefighters were allegedly called in, captured the being with nets, and handed it over to the military. Evidence 3, military movement. Locals reported convoys of army trucks and police vehicles all over Varginha. Some even swore that more than one creature had been captured. And then, a military policeman, Marco Eli Cheriz, died weeks later under mysterious circumstances, fueling suspicions even more. Evidence 4, the hospital and the zoo. Days later, nurses claimed to have seen the military transporting something strange inside a local hospital. By April, new rumors spread: a being had shown up at the city zoo, and 4 animals died under unexplained circumstances.
Primeiro, morreu veado. Uma semana depois, uma jaguatirica. 3 dias após, outro veado. E no dia 25 de março, uma anta.
A conclusão que se chegou foi que todos os animais, todos os mamíferos, apresentavam o mesmo problema no trato gastrointestinal. Era uma necrose, como se tivesse queimado o trato gastrointestinal desses animais.
The army denied everything. Years later, they released official reports saying the young women had mistaken a local man, known as Madinho, who was covered in mud after the rain. According to these documents, the military trucks spotted in town weren't moving aliens, they were just out for routine maintenance at repair shops. As for Officer Marco Eli Cheriz, they said his death had nothing to do with contact with anything strange, but rather medical complications during surgery. But the details just don't add up. The young women swore it was pouring rain at the time of the sighting, yet weather records show it didn't rain at that hour. UFO researchers claim this mismatch is yet another sign of tampered official data. And then, there were the silencing attempts. Witnesses reported anonymous phone calls, offers of money, and even visits from men in suits asking them to deny everything. For many, that's a clear sign of intimidation.
Ele queria que eu, a Valkyria, fosse no programa e mentisse que não tinha visto nada.
While the military reports tried to bury the case, the press kept it alive. All of Brazil knew about the Varginha ET, and international newspapers compared it to Roswell. The prestigious Wall Street Journal even called it a cosmic Watergate. Between official statements and contradictions, one thing became clear: the more they tried to bury this story, the bigger it got. Before I close this file, 2 last pages stand out. The first one talks about the intimidation of the witnesses. Months after the incident, the young women and their family reported receiving anonymous phone calls and even visits from men in suits, offering money if they would deny everything. Their mother even said she was followed by suspicious people. Many called these figures the men in black, the hidden face of ufology. But researcher Yubrajara Rodriguez suggested another explanation: local religious leaders, trying to discredit the case so they wouldn't lose followers to the mystery. The second page brings up the episode of a forged military testimony. In 1996, ufologists released an audio recording of an alleged anonymous soldier, claiming the creature had been taken to the Army Sergeant's School in Tres Carricos. But soon came the official denial, and eventually the truth. A firefighter involved in the hoax admitted he had lied under pressure from researchers. What seemed like a crucial lead turned into nothing but noise. On top of that, there's still the zoo enigma, the sudden death of animals right after the sightings. Coincidence? Or just another piece of a puzzle that never fits? As I go through this file, two possibilities form in front of me. The first is the official version. What the young women saw that afternoon was supposedly just a local man, nicknamed Medinho, covered in mud. The strange creature, in reality, would have been nothing but confusion. The military trucks seen moving through the city were only out for routine maintenance, not a capture operation. Even the death of Officer Marco Eli Chiriz supposedly had a simple explanation: medical complications after surgery. In this version, everything comes down to coincidences, misinterpretation, and mass hysteria. But then, I look again at the evidence. The young women described a creature with red eyes and movements that were far from human, something hard to confuse with just a man. The army trucks were moving around town exactly in the days after the sighting. Doctors and nurses spoke of a hospital filled with military personnel, something that doesn't exactly match a so-called routine maintenance. And finally, there's the mystery of the officer's death, young, healthy, in direct contact with the creature, and shortly after, gone, without a clear explanation. That's when the second hypothesis comes in: a cover-up. Creatures captured, secretly transported, taken away for autopsies far from the public eye. Witnesses pressured, testimonies buried, contradictions that don't fade away, even after decades. The question remains: could an entire city really have been mistaken at the same time, or were some truths carefully buried inside official reports? The case of the Varginha ET remains unsolved. Between official documents, silenced testimonies, revealed hoaxes, and witnesses who refuse to stay quiet, the shadow of doubt still lingers. I'm Detective Ozma, and I'll keep gathering every fragment, every voice, every piece of evidence they try to erase. Many stories get buried, but never forever. If you, or someone you know, has ever witnessed something unexplainable, leave your story in the comments. Or, if you'd rather stay anonymous, send it to the email pinned in the comments. Who knows, maybe the next file I open will be yours.